Alright, all you listeners of the madness, and especially you video gamers out there, welcome back to Under the Radar. Now, a little bit of good news, bad news here, folks, and we'll start with the bad news. Now, we didn't realize that this week for Music Village, since we're going to review Takeover in Your House, that the show would not have enough room to fit for the games we were going to mention. That's the bad news. But the good news, since we're on an annual tradition of mentioning games every milestone we take for this show of madness, we just decided to move all of those games from a green light and a spotlight on a Friday night straight to the madness of a Monday night and bring it to you from a planet far, far away from here for a very special month starting Extreme Milestone Cobalt Steel Edition of the Planet of the Games. Now, we almost forgot to include it in the show in the first place. And Maestro said since we've delegated down to 5 games, let's start with the first one. And the first one we have up comes from the itch.io page of none other than Black Vein Productions. Nice name, by the way, with their said game, Tony Hawk's Extensional Nightmare. And this game automatically reminds me of a combination of Xavier Renegade Angel with a little hint in there of one of those off-air sketches from Adult Swim. And the only tip of advice we have for you fans out there is, well, yeah, try to maintain balance. That's the best thing we can give you. And also, here's hoping in the near future that they allow you to do a McTwist during this said game. Even though the Maestro said it's impossible, nothing's impossible in the world of Tony Hawk, especially this one. And the next game that we have up comes from the itch.io page of epicgames.com, or from the website of epicgames.com with their said game, Sludge Life. And this game automatically reminds me of a combination of not only No More Heroes, but a little hint of the Warriors and Beat Street in there as well. And Maestro said we might as well include Jet Set Radio Future in there if it took place during a more modern time. You got a point there, you really do. And here's hoping in the near future for this game that they actually allow you to roller skate across the streets. As a mean of transportation, because not many games allow you to have it, and here's hoping this one does. Besides giving you the broom that Turbo probably used during that classic movie we mentioned. And the next game that we have up, which comes from the itch.io page of Nathan Brower, nice name by the way, with his said game, Siren Head Retribution. And this game automatically reminds me of a combination of the Slender Man with a big hint of Silent Hill in there as well. Especially with whatever the hell that giant oversized Markland beast, fin-headed, hammerhead shark-looking thing that threw a car into the trees in the woods, yeah, definitely reminds me of Silent Hill. And the only tip of advice that we have for you fans out there is to go for cover. Definitely go for cover when you hear this thing coming. And yeah, here's also hoping in the near future for this game that they give you some form of weapon to combat against that. And according to the Maestro shaking his head, nope, I don't think that's gonna happen. Well, at least a new car so you can run from it. That's another thing we hope for. And the next game that we have up, besides you meeting certain deaths if you try to combat that thing like the Maestro just told me, comes from the itch.io page or from the Epic's game website, only known as epicgames.com, with their game, Death Coming. And this game automatically reminds me of a combination of not only Final Destination, also with a little splash in there, the Adult Swim game of 5 Minutes to Kill Yourself, with a little hint of the Grim Reapers from not only Family Guy, but also from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. And here's hoping in the near future for this game, with all these Final Destination-like deaths, they allow you to come up with an own death strategy of your own. Yeah, let's hope. And one idea I had involves a giant oversized elevator and some form of Pee Wee Herman breakfast machine device. I forgot what the actual name of it was, but it was pretty cool. And besides that Rube Goldberg device that Maestro just told me about, which came from that movie we just mentioned, the last but not least game that we have up for this week, which comes from the Steam page and developers of Terrible Toy Box, nice name by the way, with their set game, Dolores, a Thimbleweed Park mini adventure. And this game automatically reminds me of a combination of not only the book I read when I was a kid called Cam Jones, with a little hint of Gossip Girl and a splash in there of Veronica Mars. And here's hoping in the near future that you also have an assistant to help you out to gather up a couple of the clues. Or at least a sidekick to prevent you from getting into dangerous situations like passing out in front of a diner like she did. Which I think she may have been poisoned or knocked out, according to the Maestro. Right. And if you guys want to go ahead and check out any other cool games that are for absolutely free from a planet that is within eye range of a telescope, you can head on over to the Free Game Planet page, only known as freegameplanet.com, to check out a whole bunch of cool games that can make a constellation in the sky from how far they are, but yet still can be beamed down to you for absolutely free. And as a matter of fact, according to the Maestro, if you can align the stars right tonight, it does spell the word free. So they're looking out for us. Nice. And I guess with that said, folks, we might as well head back into that music one more time. And when we return, we'll be back with the final segment for Under the Radar for this week, right after this. So don't get lost in that ocean of madness just yet, folks, and stay tuned.